We can hear you loud and clear.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you. They are at a UPN conference in Atlanta, Georgia, and she's going to do the financial updates from here.
Sounds fun. Sissy, not coming?
No, she's not. I think keep asking me.
Taking the time seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Jessica and Chris are going to drop off after they do their updates. Just so you know, they have one of the seminars is on attending right after this.
All right, 8:30, we'll call the meeting to order. We have everyone present, and we'll open with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Thank you. We shouldn't have any citizens' comments. Review and action on the minutes of the meeting held May 29, 2024. You want to review those and take any action? I'll make a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. West, second by Ms. Madero. All those in favor? It's unanimous. All right, review of the Phelps business performance year to date. Start with operational updates.
Devin? So just before Devin gets started, we found an error in the original submittal that was in Board Effects. We've corrected it. So what you see on the screen should be the corrected version. When you print it out, it repeated some of the outages and made it a little more excessive than what it was. So just to let everybody know that this is the correct version.
Yes, this is what I did, I'm sorry. Had to scratch them out, they just repeated, started at 6-9 and repeated, but we'll review the outages, starting after the days after the last board meeting. On the 21st, out of Sutherland Springs, we had blown inline fuse, cause unknown, affected 12 customers for 48 minutes, total customers minutes 576. Out of Floresville, or Eagle Creek, we had an outage caused by a bad Phelps meter changeout. One customer affected for 58 minutes, total minutes 58. Another one out of Floresville, caused by a recloser opened up by a bad arrestor. That was 78 customers affected, 226 minutes for 17,628 total minutes. That was a fun one. The guys had to look for that arrestor for several hours before we could find it. We finally took it out. It was winking lights pretty much all Memorial Day weekend till they got it located. Next one's out of Sutherland Springs again. Blown transformer fuse caused by a tree limb. 2 customers, 197 minutes for a total of 394. Then we go to Falls City on the 29th. Recloser opened up caused by storms and lightning. We had 15 customers, 201 minutes for 3,015. We're out of Floresville again on the 30th. Blown tap line fuse, cause unknown. Customers out, 5. Duration was 85 for a total of 425. Next, we're in Sutherland Springs, 31st. It's caused by down service wires. 1 customer, 72 minutes, 72-minute total. On the 5th.
Excuse me.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
said Sutherland Springs, but there exists Lavernia? Is that what you're saying?
It's just, I'm referencing this substation, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
That fifth column,
Okay.
the abbreviations for each.
Yeah, the 5th column, you talking about sub and circuit, that SS is Sutherland Springs, EC is Eagle Creek, FE is Floresville.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next one is Eagle Creek On the 5th, outage caused by tree fell and Phelps primary wires, 47 customers affected, 38 minutes for 1,786 total. The next one's out of the Eagle Creek sub on the 7th, blown takeoff fuse, cause unknown, 4 customers out for a total, for 101 minutes for a total of 404. Then we go to Eagle Creek again. On the 8th, outage caused by loose connection at transformer, 1 customer, 67 minutes for a total of 67. On the 8th, out of Eagle Creek, blown transformer fuse caused by animal, 51 customers for a duration of 64 for 3,264 total minutes. Back to Sutherland Springs on the 8th, outage caused by loose neutral at transformer, 2 customers affected, 50-minute duration for a total of 100 minutes. On the 9th, we're out of Floresville, outage caused by a loose connection at transformer, 1 customer, 57 minutes for a total of 57. On the 9th, we go back to Eagle Creek, outage caused by a bad transformer, 1 customer, 99-minute duration for a total of 99 minutes. On the 10th, we're out of Eagle Creek again, blown takeoff fuse caused by lightning, 4 customers affected, the duration was 90 minutes for a total of 360. Then on the 10th, out of Eagle Creek, blown transformer fuse caused by lightning, one customer, outage 78 minutes, total customer minutes 78. On the 12th, we're out of Floresville, had a blown transformer fuse caused by lightning, 1 customer affected, duration 89 minutes for a total of 89. On the 12th, we're out of Floresville again, blown transformer fuse caused by animal, 1 customer, 70 minutes for a total customer minutes of 70. On the 16th, we're out of Sutherland Springs, blown takeoff fuse caused by a weak fuse, we've got 1 customer out for 76 minutes for a total of 76. 16th again, this time we're out of Falls City, outage caused by bad at transformer. 1 customer out, outage duration 325 for a total of 325. Next one, we're at Eagle Creek substation, blown transformer fuse caused by squirrel and cutout, 2 customers out, 248-minute duration for a total of 496 minutes. Then we go back to Falls City on the 19th. That's an outage cause. I'm assuming these are bad fuses at the transformer. Customers affected 1, outage duration 65, total customer minutes 65. Next, we're in Floresville, blown takeoff fuse caused by a weak fuse. 2 customers affected for 98 minutes for a total of 196. Then out to Eagle Creek, outage caused by vines and Phelps primary wires. 26 customers affected for a total for outage duration of 122 minutes for a total of 3,172. Then we're back to Eagle Creek on the 20th again, blown takeoff fuse caused by lightning. Customers affected by outage, 1 for 178-minute duration for a total of 178. Yes, sir.
Just a question. That one on June the 16th there at Falls City,
Yes, sir.
that one transformer took 5 hours to take care of? 325 minutes.
Yeah, I can look into that for you and get back.
I mean, it's no big deal, but
Yes.
we just didn't have the transformer where we thought it was, and
There could be a lot of factors there. We could have had to, I apologize for that comment. It doesn't give a lot of detail, but I can look into that and really get back to you with some more information.
I mean, I'm sure there could have been a lot of things that happened
You know,
There may not have been anybody at home.
A lot of things going on. We could have had to get some tree trimming out there as well, to clear some lines. So there's a lot of things that can
That could have happened.
can go to that. You know, if it's a bad fuse at the transformer, we have to clear a lot of things. There's just like I said, I apologize for that comment,
Yeah.
but I will get some more detail and follow up with you soon.
So one of the things, outside of this one or two that are fairly lengthy, one of the things I want to point out here, and next month we'll readjust this, but it's very interesting to see how previous outages were affecting hundreds of people. We've been working hard trying to get sectionalizing done. I've told y'all this on multiple occasions. And one of the things that, while this was a lengthy presentation from the standpoint of number of outages, they're all, for the most part, just ones and twos and fours. I'm not saying that's good. We all want power to stay on. But we also all know we're in rural, and equipment gets damaged by lightning, animals, just various different things. So I want to emphasize that what I see here is our sectionalizing starting to work, just like I presented to not only the board, but the customers. I've been trying to emphasize this to the customers as well, that we are working hard to try to upgrade our reliability. What I was whispering to Braden is next time we do this presentation, we will limit this to only the majors, but we will also give metrics on it. In other words, over the last year, what has our average customer outage duration been? Over the last, from year to date, what has it been? Over the last month, what has it been? The metrics, they're called SAIDI, SAFE, KD, and there's a few others. We're not going to give you all of them, and what I'm thinking about doing is putting it in a graph form so y'all can start seeing trends, and hopefully those trends are going down. And I'm not saying we aren't going to have one outage that's going to affect a ton of people. It's highly possible. I can't predict the future, but we're doing everything we can to limit those very large outages.
On those animal
Yes, sir.
related outages, how many of those are attributed to birds?
Most of the time it's a squirrel.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
Squirrel or raccoon. That's
Some
the
way-
on top of the transformer where they get it on the cutout, there's a gap in the cutout.
is there some way you could mount something on that pole to prevent those animals from accessing that top, those wires and everything?
So
Like little plastic cones?
So our construction techniques, I'm not sure we do it on all locations, but I know we have jacketed wire from the transformer up. And Devin, correct me if I'm incorrect in this. We also have the plastic covers.
Yes.
And I think they're putting them up on all the new stuff. That doesn't mean all the older installations don't have it. They probably don't. So that is one thing I believe our construction standards today has is it's a plastic cover that goes over the top. There's multiple ways. There's another one that's called a spider that actually it energizes the very tips of these little wires that come out. It's just slight, so it deters them from going up there. That was some older technology, but again, I want to emphasize this. The way I'm seeing this report, it's starting to, these storms coming through aren't affecting hundreds and hundreds of people. They're affecting much smaller rates of folks. And that's the goal, is to get the sectionalizing correct. But just remember, I can't sit here and promise you we're not going to have a 300 person outage, a 300 customer outage next week. God forbid something comes through. But we are limiting what we can.
That particular area you're talking about, you see it happen at 6:35 p.m. So there is some dead time there getting people here, getting materials. So that can speak to, why that's 325 minutes. Is you're going to burn quite a few minutes just getting people here, getting material loaded up after they find out what's going on out there.
Right.
So it's just part of it.
Well, and it may have been in Chestatahoma. I mean, I don't know where
It was
it was in Fall City somewhere.
1149 County Road 256. So County Road 256.
Back out to that area,
Yeah, so,
This is from here.
yeah. I mean,
In that vicinity,
There's a lot of factors.
does that mean that's not saying it was on a road somewhere, it could have been in a pasture somewhere?
Yes, sir. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
as long as it wasn't at 805 Chambers Street.
So, before we go to the next section, I wanted to bring y'all's attention to an outage that happened Saturday. The majority of River Bend went down. We had a vehicular issue striking one of our junction boxes, and every section in River Bend, with the exception of the very front one, right by the little lake up front, every section went out. And it went out about somewhere around 8:30, and two sections were back on by, I believe it was 12:30. It took a while to isolate and repair. The section I live in, which is the custom home section there right by the clubhouse, they didn't get on until 3:30. We had to rerun another run of cable because the damage was extensive enough we could not reuse what was in there. We had tons of folks out there getting that taken care of. So again, I can't tell you today that we're not going to have a big outage, but I can tell you Saturday we had a big outage.
What caused it?
A truck leaving Lou's, the restaurant there, contacted the cabinet that serves sections of the subdivision, and it damaged it back to the overhead through the fault current that happened. And now wait, I think I've told y'all, we are working on some alternative feeds because there's so many people in there. We have an alternative feed we're working on. And we've got the easement that we're working on right now. Devin and his team are working on that. We've got permission from the developer, we just don't have the easement yet. As soon as we get the easement, we have all the material we're going to be putting it in. That's something we've been working on prior to this outage. This was my big concern about that subdivision. Hundreds of customers in the spot, they don't need served. So I'm working, and as soon as we get that clearance on the easement, we will be constructing a secondary feed into that subdivision because it is so large. Again, we're going to be utilizing materials that we already have. It's not something we have to go buy. We're going to utilize our own internal folks to do the construction to save on construction costs from the contractor.
Is that like an insurance claim?
We are waiting on the investigation from Floresville Police to identify the person that was, we don't know who it is. We just know it was a vehicle that hit it and struck it, and I contacted Chief Flores on Monday, and he has his detectives working on it.
And then is that bollards an option?
It had bollards, so he ran right over them.
So it's like a hit and run?
I don't want to speculate, ma'am. I don't want to put words in my mouth that don't dictate what the police. I would say yes, but I don't know for sure.
And then, like, something like that, who picks up the tab? The city does, or the light company does?
We'll have to pick it up until we get insurance.
That's what I'd ask, and a lot of times we can file it against their insurance, whoever did it, to pay back the utility. Because right now it's on Phelps' dime to fix it.
So the people that own the River Bend, they don't, like the builders, they're not responsible?
Not for something like that.
I wouldn't think so with something like that.
No, it's owned by another individual, private individual.
No, but the owner, the one that owns the whole property, I mean, the one that sold all the property. Y'all don't know for sure, like.
I wouldn't think so, though, because it wasn't their fault. I mean, it was functioning.
So we're going to be proactive and try not to have this happen again. I've asked Devin to extend the protection. What it is there's a fire extinguisher in our box, and people like to park right in between them for some reason. like parallel parking. And when they took off that evening, right over our cabinet. So, anyway, I don't want to speculate anything until I hear back from Chief Flores. And I'll look into what the what Luz's insurance policies are for their patrons. That would be the only thing I can think of is if they have any responsibility. But my first guess is no. But I will look into that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. That's all I have. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. So Devin went and purchased our new back trailer. This was approved with the budget amendment in our last meeting. And we can't thank the board enough for allowing us to do this. It's going to make our life a lot easier. We actually came in under what we were budgeting for this. He budgeted, I think it was 140 or 150K for this particular unit, and we got it in at 120 or 120.
Yeah, 120.
120K. So we were able to save a little bit of money, but we do have, as we continue to use it, well, we found that we need some additional hose links, so we're going to use that additional budget money that we have in there to purchase those. And we'll still be well under budget, but as we get to use it, we've had training on it, and great, again, I can't thank the board enough for allowing us to purchase this. It's going to help our life.
What is that actually used for?
Doug?
It's a hydro excavator, and it's got that's why I put the picture in here. Mr. Aiken had a question about what it was last week, so I just wanted y'all to be able to see it, but it's like a pressure washer. Then it has a big vacuum on it that sucks the slurry up. When you make slurry out of the ground, you can suck it up into that holding tank on the backside there.
Okay.
And then you can dump it, and it allows you to dig in the tolerance zone. Like, there's 18 inches either side of the marked utility is a machine tolerance where you can't use machinery. But this is an accepted method to speed that up, where you don't have, you mitigate the risk of somebody digging with a shovel or slapsticks. Yes.
Okay.
And also it speeds up our response time after hours. We don't have to wait for emergency locates.
Sure.
Because this is an accepted method. We can go right out there, hydro excavate if it's a broken pole, you can immediately hydro excavate, put the pole in, and by the time the locators are there, you're already past that point.
Saves a lot of man time too.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
nice, okay, thank you. Welcome.
Any other questions? Safety, Jessica, are you on? No, sorry, hold on.
Yep.
You're not up yet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take this. Our safety committee has our next meeting on July 3rd to go over how everything is going from a safety perspective. Troy has been doing an outstanding job of making sure our guys are safe. We've had a couple of minor instances of I won't use the word near misses, but they were unavoidable, and you'll get those updates. But we continue to train our linemen to make sure that they are working in a safe manner, taking a step back when they feel like they're in a rush or they're in a bind, take a step back and not put themselves in a position to get in trouble while they're either up in the bucket or on the ground underneath the line working. We make sure, and Troy does, like I said, he does a really good job every Tuesday going over various safety procedures and protocols to ensure that they're working safely out in the field. We did have one recordable accident in May. Devin, do you remember which one that was? Was that the eye?
Yes.
So when we had a little bit of shrapnel get on the outside of one of our guys' eye, and It was reportable, that all it really required was eye drops, but we sent him to the hospital just to get checked out and make sure his eye was okay. Personnel updates. We don't have any new hires, terminations, or promotions. I believe we had a couple of our board members at Jeannie's retirement gathering. Really appreciate those that were able to come. It means a lot to not only myself, but the team here at Phelps, that the board supports retirement here at Phelps. I want to make sure that that's, especially those that have served here for so long. We've got folks that have been here 20, 30, 40 years. And it's very important to let them know their time here was greatly appreciated. So, she will be officially leaving on June 28th. We do have some open positions right now. Journeyman lineman, I think we've had that one open for quite a while. We cannot seem to locate journeyman lineman. That is going to be the hardest one to find just because everybody wants to work for contractors. They make more money, they work a lot more hours, but they make more money. And that's just a fact. I mean, it's just finding the right folks that want to get out of that contractor business and settle down and work, an 8 to 5 or a little bit of overtime when storms come through. So we continue to work on that. I know Devin's working hard trying to identify folks for that position. Director of Engineering. I'm rethinking how I'm going to do the Director of Engineering because I am having problems locating somebody with distribution experience for that level and for the pay scale that we're looking at. So I'm looking at bringing in just a staff engineer potentially, working with Myra and Devin to determine how we want to move forward with that as a team and make sure it's something that we're all agreeable to on how we're going to move forward. This system engineer would be more of a interdepartmental assistant where that person would help any department that needs help from an engineering standpoint and not necessarily be over any of the sub-departments. Yes, sir.
Would they still be able to sign off on?
That's the goal, yes, sir. To have somebody in here that...
So we won't have to go out and have an engineer sign off on our project?
That's correct. No, you say that, we're going to make a little bit of change on that front. I know there's an $8,000 cutoff and a $25,000 cutoff. And I've been working with different folks trying to understand what others do. But I'm probably going to drop the $8,000 cutoff and go to the $25,000. And my reason behind that is our specs have already been approved by a PE. There's really no reason to have somebody go recheck a job from that up to that $8,000 mark or $8,000 above. Anything over that will for sure, up to the $25,000, I think we'll be fine. I mean, you can't do a job today under $8,000. I mean, you just can't do it. So we were spending anywhere from $800 to $3,000 to $4,000 per job. Every one of them we sent. And so what I'm going to do to ensure that we are building to the standards that are already approved by APE, I'm going to have a PE come in every quarter and inspect 10% of the jobs that are done. And that's 10% of all of them, that not just our jobs that are done internally, but also contractor jobs that are done. So we're going to move forward from that perspective to try to not only save us some money, but it makes more sense from the standpoint of the way the laws are written. So.
Well, that'll pay part of the salary too, right?
It would, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. We have a GIS technician. It's posted. I believe they've been working on interviews, and I have not heard any updates from them as of today on if they've decided on any of the interview candidates that they've been looking at.
Now, what does a GIS technician do?
So that is our mapping drones.
For the post and all those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And then the drones, data entry, all that good stuff.
So that we know where all of our assets are on the map?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And this is not a new position. One of our technicians left, if y'all recall, a few months ago, Will, this is to replace him. I gave the department an option of not rehiring for Will's position. I said, this is not saying don't hire him. I'm asking, do you need this position, or can we go just like we have with our three department people that are in that department? And after a month or two, they really felt like they needed to bring that next person in. It would help them a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and refill that position that was vacated by Will. The lead mechanic, we do have somebody, they're starting July 8th, I believe. So we have that position filled, and we'll be pulling that off the open positions that are here. The person we found, we feel pretty blessed that he wanted to come here because he's got a ton of experience. I believe he worked for John Deere.
John Deere certified, he worked for Saws for a number of years, and he's already been maintaining a couple of bucket trucks for Saws. So to find somebody in this area that has that experience was just a plus. Very, very lucky, very fortunate to find him. We're hoping he works out and lives up to what we think it's gonna be.
Any other questions on open positions? All right, Jessica, if you can hear me, I believe you're up now.
I can hear you. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
All right, so on the construction program for financials through May, we did have some positive trends. A lot of that is stemmed from savings and large purchases, such as the back trailers. So thank you, Devin, for having some savings there. We had about 27% remaining of our budget for the month through May, with a remaining amount of $940,000. So expenses are trending, continuing to trend in a positive way for the capital side. Next slide. I can't really see if you're on the operating, Aaron, but if you are, one thing I wanted to point out, we did have some higher purchase power. That is due to the year-to-date true-up that took place for May. So that you will see the negative variance there of 1.1 million, and that is due to the true-up that took place. Overall, excluding purchase power, we did very well for the month of May. We did have a remaining 108,000 under budget. Including purchase power, though, we were about $1 million over budget. One thing I do want to point out is that next month it may show a negative variance because there will be a true-up of plant depreciation and bond interest expenses. So you'll see those hit through June next month when we do a review. So there should be I'm expecting a negative balance to take place in that aspect. And then year-to-date, we're still positive. We're still trending in the right direction. Excluding purchase power, we're 181,000 under budget, and overall, year-to-date, just about 1 million under budget. And this, I do want to make note that does include the new amended budget amount. Without those, we probably see some red numbers across the board. Then on the next slide, you can just see the graph that just shows where our budget to actuals are. Just a nice little visual to show that we're actually trending in the right direction this far in the year.
Jessica,
Questions?
thanks for the update for next month. I did want to make sure the board was aware of the potential of having a negative month next month because of the catch-ups that will be going on. So we'll make sure that y'all are updated accordingly next month. Overall, it should still trend in a positive direction. Is that still accurate, Jessica?
That is correct. I'm expecting it to still trend, to continue to trend in the right direction. It's just we're going to have those mid-year true-ups that will hit in the month of June. So you'll see those, which could bring us to a negative for that month.
Yeah, it's looking at it from a month basis, but if you look at it from an overall budget year to date, we should still be trending in the right direction. We just want to make sure
Correct.
that for a month of June, it may be negative.
That is correct. And that's, especially because we're trending, even with purchase power, we're still $1 million under budget overall year to date.
Well, the purchase power number is what's causing it to be negative.
We did the true up this month.
That's from the true of this
The
month, that for just the purchase power, but if you notice the overall true up for this month, it's still positive. It's still going in the right direction. So, we're expecting the meters to continue to spin, especially with all the heat that we have. That's a good thing. We always
Right,
want
that's what I'm
meters to
talking
spin.
about. It won't catch up until we collect the money.
That's correct.
And our purchase power was a little bit higher for me, as it should be expected. But it also did include that, the true up for me.
Yeah. You're talking to somebody's in the propane business?
You understand?
I understand.
Yes, sir. Well, as we told the board from the beginning, we're trying to be upfront. We want to make sure you're aware, especially if we know a trend's coming. We don't want it to be a surprise that next month. So, and let you know we still believe we're in good shape. It's just that 1 month hickey is gonna be there. And
Well, as long as it stays hot and we're having to buy more than what we're collecting, we're gonna have more accounts receivables
yes, sir.
until we collect it.
Yes, sir. Okay, Jessica, what else do you have, ma'am?
Okay, so next slide, we had some, did you want me to go through the community support or?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Okay. So at the Sacred Heart Vacation Bible School, the drone operators went out there and had an event. So the next few slides are just some pictures of the kiddos watching the drones being flown around.
Who are our drone operators?
The GIS folks.
I mean, names of them.
Oh, it's
Gilbert and Roy.
James, Gilbert, and
Sorry.
Roy. James, Gilbert, and Roy.
In what? Good.
Yeah, in fact, let's see. James is on the right. Gilbert's the one waving, and the one on the left is Roy. And I believe that was Sergio that went with the bucket truck.
Yes,
That you see behind James.
It's Sergio.
So Myra brought this particular event to our attention. They had reached out to see if we'd come do something, and of course we said, heck yeah. So we jumped on the opportunity, and I invited the GIS folks to take the drone out there and just show and tell, just like we did at the elementary school not too long ago. So I really appreciated those guys, what they did, and we continue to support the community. Especially these kiddos. I mean, these kiddos like to see these different things. So. And there's the drone flight. And if you want to do the customer feedback, please.
So we did have one customer contact us and recognize Bert. So the comment that she said was that our car went out around 5 p.m. today due to lightning. Prompt courteous and successful service was provided by Bert. He did a fantastic job, many thanks. So we get comments like this, so it's just good to share with everybody, and kudos to Bert for a great job done.
You know, we always hear the bad, and it's always good to see the good comments as well. And we always thank the employees for doing what they do, especially the ones that are visuals out in the field. I mean, they represent us very well. So, Jessica, thank you. You and Chris are welcome to jump off or listen in, but I think that was the
We
rest
have a
of
few
it.
minutes, so we can cover it now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So, project updates. On Project updates, I didn't have any slides, it's just a few verbal updates. As you know, we did the Floresville project, we closed that project down. Herbie is officially off-site, and we paid the final bill to them. And I say final bill, we still have retainage, they still have some closeout documents that have to be done to ensure that we don't have any kickback in the future for their subcontractors, and make sure they're, for example, making sure they're paid. Once we get confirmation that everybody's taken care of, we'll pay the retainage, and Herbie will be released to their contract at that point. We do have materials for that project that's going to be used at the new station. Those materials are stored at the Floresville site, the Floresville substation site. Not only on the substation site itself, but we have a warehouse right there on 181 that we're storing a lot of that material in. So we've taken inventory of what Herbie had, and we made sure it's all in there. From a new substation standpoint, we've got several locations identified, and I have a landman that I'm working with, who's Jeff. He's the one that I think helped with the site for this building, and we're going to continue to press trying to get that land purchased so that we can move forward with design work. Most of the design work is pretty well done, just because the steel and other materials are required. So the design time is really going to be geared towards getting the site design from a civil engineer standpoint completed. And that was all built into what I presented to the board to ensure we were staying within the budget that was approved. So, moving on, board policy review schedule. When I was looking at all the board policies, I was going to do it as a policy at a time. But the more I looked at it, each policy has different lengths and different objectives. And so what I'm going to do is, starting in July, I'm going to set aside 10 to 15 minutes of board time to go over however many policies we can fit within that 10 to 15 minutes. I will have a pre-made slides for each of those discussions. Once we hit that 15 minutes, we'll either finish what we're doing on that particular board policy, or we'll cut it off so that we're not extending the meeting too long. I want to make sure we only limit it to that 10 or 15 minutes, because we could spend hours going over board policy. And then we'll continue to do that until we get through the entire board's policies and procedures. And then once we get finished, we'll start over. And this is it's going to be an ongoing, probably about a 2-year cycle. 1.5 to 2 year cycle, because every month we're going to probably get 2 to 3 board policies in, and some of them we may only get 1 because they're longer, and we may have some discussion. So I want to make sure these are open forums where we're discussing any of the content that's in there, asking questions, and the like.
That may be a good idea because of the rotation of the board members, to have a 15-minute every time we meet.
That's exactly why I want to do it, sir. And that's why I decided to present it to y'all that way, unless y'all have any heartburn with that. That's how I'm going to do it, because again, we could spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes every board meeting, and it'd still take us a while to get through it.
Yeah.
But we've got to leave time, not only for y'all's lives outside of this board, but we don't want to have a board meeting that's 4 hours long either, if we can help it.
About board policy.
Exactly, yes, sir.
You need to share it with us before?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Pre-review,
Yes, sir.
have questions ready.
That would be fine. I don't have a problem with that. We'll submit it with the board effects and make sure that those are ready to go. In fact, what I'll do, Chairman, is within the next week or two, I'll send you a preliminary on a format. Well, a format to show you how I want to do it, and then make sure you don't have any concerns with that format, and then we'll develop a schedule based on that. From the standpoint of, I think we can get through GM 1 through 1, 2. First meeting, we may only get through 2. But there are some, I mean, there's some that's gonna take like 2 minutes to go over.
One pager.
Yeah. So that's how I'm gonna approach that. If y'all are okay with that, we will start that process in July.
Any questions on that? All right, we're gonna jump down to approvals, just so we don't have to have the paper leave and come back and do all that. You're welcome to once we do that, but I think the approvals will be pretty quick, it seems like, so we'll jump down to those and then jump back up to the personnel closed session. So we'll jump to section 2A, review and possible action, use of space for state representative.
So I've been approached by Rep. Ian's office to see if they could utilize space here at the office. We do have a location that we can allow them to use, but I don't want to utilize that space without the board's approval. I would request that if we do this, we state it as a state rep use, not just a specific person's state rep use, because we don't want to paint Phelps in a corner, Republican, Democrat. We need to be open-ended on it to allow any state rep that wants to utilize it. So as you walk in the office here, there's a room that they don't even have to go into our locked-in area. It stays right here. Within the front, there's restrooms. It's an air-conditioned, small office that they could utilize. And if the board would allow me to go forward with the discussions with Rep. Ian's office, we would see how they want to put that together, how they want to fund utilization of that office space.
What do they need it for? Or how long? Or-
Just a presence here within the community as needed. It's just something they would only, in the agreement with them, they would only be able to use it during business hours. They could not use it during non-business hours. It's only when that front door is open. And again, this would be an agreement between us and the state rep to where we make sure that we get reimbursed for whatever use that we have here, the electricity, air conditioning, phones, whatever. And then also, the agreement would state that they could only utilize it during certain hours. So it's something I wanted to bring to the board. I'm not one way or the other, whether we allow them to or not. I'm not one way or the other. I just need to know how the board feels about allowing state reps. I'm okay with it.
So would there be somebody there?
How about the county? The county would allow them to go there?
I'm not sure, Mayor. I think they were looking at multiple locations, and I just promised I would bring it in front of the board to see if the access to that room would be acceptable.
That's what I was going to ask, did they come to the city for a
They
space?
were in the city, but I would have to use that they chose to, because, I don't know,
So they were the house that y'all's,
yeah, they were housing in the city, but then we chose to, after,
Again, if it's,
yeah. I guess they were looking around, or if they just picked us for random reasons.
I think it would, I don't know, to me it would be a conflict because now the electricity is going to be, one side or the other. I feel we're bipartisan, but we make decisions here.
and that's exactly my point. Now, if we did this, it has to be a bipartisan agreement where it's not just one specific state rep. Any state rep that wanted to use that office space would be allowed to use it. But we also can just state that this building is strictly for Phelps and Phelps electrical and run it that way. Again, I'm open to whatever the board wants. I just don't want to do something that's outside of what the board's wants and wishes are. Mr. West?
What time frame?
From,
Year?
that depends on the agreement, sir.
They were
That would be-
all the time at the city, or just during like election years? Oh, yeah.
I just know they started in January and they left in May. I think, I'm not sure, I'm not sure. I don't know, because I wasn't there last year.
I just want to make sure we have it out. If a year from now it's not working for us, we want to make sure we have it
30
out.
days,
We would build that into the agreement, sir.
And it's gonna be for a state rep.
regardless of affiliation.
Yeah,
I think that's the only way it would work.
yeah, well, I agree.
Do you see any issues, like,
From an access standpoint,
not access, but like, yes, I don't know, are they gonna approach customers every day and, you know,
Customers
customers?
fill out parking lot with signs.
Yeah, that's, I guess, my question maybe to them is it just a place, AC place for them to work? Or are they gonna be interacting with, you know, customers and people, and then that might cause
that part should not be, they should not be interacting with customers. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm like Braden. If they're gonna be in their office, and if I wanna go in and see Representative Guillen, I don't see a problem with that, if I'm going into that office to see him. But are they gonna be in the lobby soliciting people that come in to pay their electric bill? I have a problem with that. Now, if we have a sign out front that says State Representative's Office, and I don't know any other state representative besides Guillen, but let's say there would be 2 or 3 people that use the office, well, then I'd say we're not affiliated with anybody. Who's gonna use it on Monday, who's gonna use it on Tuesday?
Okay. Well,
Can you find that out? We just table this and you find out more about
Yeah,
what
what-
their intended uses, is it just for air conditioning and table and chair, or are they have, and then if they say they're just doing that, then maybe a draft agreement, we can have at next meeting, it says you're only using this for, you know, office space purposes, or there will be no soliciting, no. No, go ahead.
I don't understand, why do they want the electric company? I mean, why don't they just go and rent something? There's a lot of buildings out there for rent.
That's why I wonder if there's something.
Yeah,
more
why do they want,
interaction.
because I want to be part of,
so.
that's my opinion. I mean, because I'm bipartisan, I don't want to be part of one section or another.
Right.
That's my, and I feel very strongly about that, so, you know. They were at the city, like I said, that they chose to be. So, because I really get very clear, we're nonpartisan, we don't take sides, we're for everybody, we hope everybody is the same. I mean, that's how I feel in my heart, and I'm not afraid to express that.
Okay. As I stated in the beginning, I'm okay either direction, but the discussions here lead to good points, and I believe based on some of the points today, I probably lean towards not allowing it. Just hearing the points, because there are some great points that are brought up, and that's why I wanted to bring this to the board. I honestly was okay with either direction, but if I believe you're right, we need to keep this as a Phelps only facility and utilize it as such. So if it's all right with,
If we're at one end, how many others are going to work?
and that's, I had that thought, and again, it would have to be bipartisan. I mean, it would absolutely have to be bipartisan. We cannot affiliate with one side or the other. So, you know, I think today, after listening to the discussion, I would recommend that we not allow it and make that determination if the board's okay with that. So if
You need to take action to just,
I will take care of it from this point.
since this is,
Yes,
Thank you.
all right.
thank you for that discussion. That's exactly what I needed to help me make a determination on what to do. Thank you.
All right, no action on that item, but be reviewing possible action adding Juneteenth and Veterans Day holidays to the Phelps calendar. Work calendar.
So my understanding, based on investigation by the team here, is that Juneteenth, Poth, I believe, is the only one that does not celebrate Juneteenth. The other cities do. On the Veterans Day, all cities honor Veterans Day. So It's really up to the board. That was the question at hand whenever we left it at the last meeting. And my question to the board is, are we okay with allowing Juneteenth and Veterans Day as part of our holiday, which are national holidays?
Juneteenth is a national holiday.
Ma'am?
Juneteenth is a national
Yes,
holiday.
ma'am.
So I would make a motion that we accept Juneteenth and Veterans Day.
Mayor by Mr. Darrow, seconded by Mr. Wetz. All those in favor? Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all's assistance with getting those done. I know the team here and the staff are going to appreciate that for sure.
All right, we'll jump back up to executive session item personnel discussions. At any time during the board meeting and pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, the board may meet in executive session for personnel under Section 551.074. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
No motion. Second, by the mayor. All those in favor? All right, we're in executive session at